If you're suffering from lower back pain due to disc bulges, herniation, extrusion, and if you're suffering from sciatica pain, all of this can happen alone or all together at the same time. In this video, I'm going to share with you a routine this routine is a daily routine that you can follow in a daily basis. Now, for some of you guys, this routine would be possible every day. For some of you, might be every second day, but this is a workout and mobility routine that I share with many of my patients online. This is the gold exercises that you must follow if you wanted to see quick recovery. This helps you with your pain, with your mobility, nerve pain. If you lacking mobility and you can't do things in a daily basis and they told you you have a weak core, etc., this can help you to improve that as well. Let's get started. All right, guys, the first exercise that we're going to start is going to be cat-cow. This is one of the most underrated exercises for back pain, and a lot of people do not really believe this can going to help them. It's hugely important for your back because it introduces flexion and extension, which are two main movements that our spine does. Let's go through it and I'm going to explain to you how to do it. You're going to be on a quadruped position, feet shoulder width apart, hands underneath of your shoulder, and your knee is going to be underneath of your hip. You want to get that deep first and then go through the cow. Yeah, that's a relaxed position. Here, you want everything to be relaxed and gentle, which means you don't tense anything. And then we're going to go opposite and push through all the way up. See here, that's the peak. You're really digging through your hands and pushing up and holding it there for 3 to 5 seconds. Now relax again. You don't want to hold your breath, guys. You want to breathe in through this exercise. It has to be a very shallow movement. It's not like tensing everything. Breathe in and out. Try it for 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. You can do this actually in your bed as soon as you wake up. How does that feel? That feels good, right? Very slow and gentle. Now make sure to get that dip down comfortable to be able to get more range. If you don't get that dip, your range get compromised, which means let that go down, relax as much as you can. It takes you a couple of rounds to get that down as low as possible. Give it a try and let me know how you're getting on. The following move that we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna reintroduce rotation into your thoracic spine, because thoracic spine is the area that we have rotation. It doesn't do that much flexion because of the ribs, but we can get some rotation and that can hugely impact your lower back. I'm going to ask a surgeon to show you and I'm going to describe for you how to do it. You're going to be on a similar quadruped position, hands underneath of your shoulder, knee underneath of your hip. Now we're going to try to create rotation. One hand over your neck. You don't want to really grab your neck too hard. It's just you're holding it gently there. You're going to rotate it in first. Yep. And then you want to open up the chest and look at the ceiling within a range that you feel comfortable. And you don't want to shift too much back. Try to shift your body forward so you should stay forward, exactly, and open up. That hugely impacts your stretch. You want to bring it in, yep, and back up. You don't want to hold it for long. It's more like a movement. All of the exercise, guys, has to be a flow in it. You breathe in and out, relax, in, yep, and back up again. And the more you do them daily, it becomes like basically like a homework that you don't need to think about it and watch the video. You just gotta follow it. Now you can do this, one side of your body gonna be more tight on the other side. Try it for 3 sets of 5 on each side initially. Don't overstretch it and annoy things. Go within a range that feels comfortable and gradually build them up. We're gonna progress the exercise, guys, to child pose, movement, and Cobra. This is a man-made exercise that I believe I invented this exercise. Nobody have ever done this exercise before. And you will be surprised the impact of this exercise in your recovery. You think I'm joking, but I'm serious. Try it and let me know how you're getting on. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go on quadruped position. Hands on the end of your shoulder and the knees a little bit wider, a little bit more wider, yeah, because you wanna make sure to be able that you're gonna sit back on it. The first move is that the child pose, which means you're gonna sit back there. Everything is relaxed, breathe in and out. Now remember, you might not be able to go that low. Be comfortable with your mobility, which means go within a range that feels comfortable. Put some cushion underneath of your feet if you need so. This can be done again in bed. Now from that position, you breathe in and out and you're bringing that movement to an extension movement. How? You basically keep the arm in the same position and look up. That's perfect. You don't need to go that low. Go within a range that feels comfortable. You don't need to hold it that long. And come back up to the starting position. Yeah, back down, relax there. It's a golden movement, guys. It's generally help you to build up more mobility. And one of the important things that happen with your back, when you have chronic back pain or disc bulges, etc., the lower back muscle become very, very protective. This is a very gentle movement that reintroduces that flexion and extension into your body, and you're in control of it, which means you're not loading anything, you're not picking up anything off the ground. It's very gentle and you have control of it. That's really good. Now, see how far acceleration goes down. Even if you can't go that low, go half of that range acceleration for the next set. Go all the way back, sit back, yeah, cool. Now, when you're coming to the Cobra, you don't want to go all the way down. Go halfway through, up to there, that's enough, and go back again to child pose. Start with that range and build up that movement. Try it for 3 sets of 5 to 8 repetitions. The more you'll be able to do that, your nervous system calm down and relax more. And you will have more actually chances of recovery than doing this once every day, more often. The more often you do, you get to create more movement. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to the next exercise, which is very, very important if you're suffering from sciatica pain. Sciatica pain is an umbrella name that usually what happens that pain comes down the legs, impact your back of your thighs, can goes down to the calves, can goes all the way to your foot. Is a pins and needles, sometimes numbness, etc. can happen at the same time. Now, to improve that symptoms, this exercise is a golden exercise, but many people doing it wrong and it aggravates their symptoms. I'm gonna show you how to do it right, and that can help you hugely to minimize that symptoms. You're gonna be on a prone position, lie on your back, relax. You're still in bed, just remember that. You can do all of these in your bed. Now, the affected side, we presume, is her left leg, all right? Now, in reality, if you do have sciatica, if you bring this leg too up straight, that aggravates your symptoms already, which means we don't want to get to that range anyway. Your knees bended, you gently, with one hand, hold back of your thighs, very gently, relax. Now, from this position, you want to bend, flex that knee, and gently bring it up to extend it, but not fully extend it, guys. Because if you bring it up to here, you're already in like a lot of pain. We don't want to poke that pain. We want to just floss that nerve. And this is actually, they've done so many studies on this, nerve flossing study, that it's been very effective in helping people with sciatica symptoms. Now, Selection is going to show you how far to go up. We're going to try it for 5 repetitions. Let's try it. You're holding this gently, slow control up, yeah, within comfortable range, and slow back down again. Now, if you have a very tight hamstring, you may not get to that range. You may be the max up to here, and that's fine, guys. Don't worry about the range. It's about the movement that create that flossing impact in your nerve, and it helps you to minimize your pain and your sciatica symptoms. You try that for 5 to 8 repetitions. Should you do it for the other side? There's no issue to try it. Let's try it from the other side. They can have a better view. One hand, gently, yeah, you bring it up to the range that feels comfortable. Bend that knee again, and back up again. We want to do 3 sets of 5 to 8 repetitions. Not too high, within comfortable range. Try it and you will see results. We're going to move on to the strength exercises, guys. While you're doing the mobility exercise, guys, don't forget that you need some muscle activation as well, which means muscle around your hip and your lower back you need to reutilize for your recovery. Don't do complete bed rest and just do the mobility. Try to use them gradually. The more you'll be able to use them, your nervous system adapt to that activity and build up more capacity and threshold. That's a key factor for your recovery. Complete bed rest is a big no. What we're gonna do, we're gonna do hip bridges, mini bridges, and we're gonna gradually build up that range. Now, solution is on the prone position, knees close to your hip, within a comfortable range. Now, one thing about the bridges is that if you do have kind of like a hard mattress, that's totally fine. But if your mattress is too soft, this can be a little bit kind of like difficult to dig in and get the good range. You want to have a kind of like a solid mattress to be able to do this in bed. Otherwise, just go on the floor and do it on the mat. Okay, feet shoulder width apart. You want to use your arm to dig into your arms to elevate your hip. Initially, you might not be able to go that high as she can. Go within a range that feels comfortable, and you don't need to hold it even. You want to go up and back down. The goal is you don't want to squeeze your hip. Forget about that. It's just a movement, guys. You want to go up and come back down. Breathe in and out. Try it for 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. This movement creates blood flow in your hip, in your lower back, and that's the key factor for your recovery. When you got more comfortable, challenge the range. Maybe bring it a little bit higher, but the range doesn't really matter. You want to try it for 3 sets of 8, gradually build up to 10 to 12 repetitions. Give it a try and let me know how you're getting on. Thank you. All right, guys, we're gonna move on to some of the really effective core exercises, and I'm gonna give you insight about core exercises. A lot of you guys been told that you have a weak core, but you focus too much only on the core activation, and that can really lead to a lot of problems. Our core muscle is not one muscle that can give you stability, it's a multiple layer of muscle that is within your torso. Now, these muscles are not necessarily designed to be always on. They're on when you do some sort of activity such as lifting, twisting, rotation, etc. But can you imagine that you're just activating them for a whole day? Then you won't be able to move. Which means the key factor about core exercise is to do them and engage your core, but you don't want to brace yourself all day long. That's a huge problem. And if you're doing it, stop it, because that can aggravate your pain. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to do dead bug, which is a very simple but effective exercise to engage your core and get that coordination in your lower back. What we're gonna do, the first movement is the position. You need to get the position right, which means we're gonna bring the arms straight up, knees up. Now, this is 90 degrees. Now, one very important thing is that if you look at the lower back, see that space here in insertion, that has to be filled up, which means it shouldn't be lifted. By filling up that position, which means you gotta rotate your hip back to posterior tilt, like you wanna push my hands down, Celition. Exactly. Now, when she does that, she can feel that pressure build up in her lower back. That alone is a huge deal for your back pain. Why? Because that coordination sometimes is being already compromised because of your pain. Your body is too tense and too protective. We want to minimize that protection and use that basically muscle to get activated again and be utilized by you, not just autopilot always tight. Now, the first exercise is to get that movement right, which means you can straight the arms again, Celition. Yeah, cool. Now, I want her to first open up that space. Don't move the knee. Just open up that space and push my hands back down again. Yes. Can you see that coordination? It's not that strong, even though she doesn't have lower back pain. But the key factor is that when you start to try this, you will understand that that muscle, it's very inhibited. It's not really strong and you don't have a good amount of control on it. Before you progress to dead bug, make sure to get that coordination right, which means create some movement. Bring it up, yeah. Open up the space, push back down again, yeah. Hold it there for 5 seconds. 5 seconds, and you breathe in and out. Don't hold your breath. Breathe in and out and maintain that pressure. Practice that before you proceed to the next move. Relax there, Celition. Now, this exercise, guys, alone is quite difficult to follow. When you are master that basically pressure in your lower back in that position, then you can gradually progress it to the full dead bug. I'm gonna show you how to proceed and you can give it a try. You're gonna go back to the same position, which means knee 90 degrees, hands straight up, straight. You build that pressure down, yeah, while you're doing it, and make sure that you're breathing, guys. You don't want to hold your breath while you're doing it. We start with the heel tap, which means everything is stable, just one leg, you tapping one heel down to the ground, yeah, while you're maintaining that pressure down the lower back. Breathe in and out, yeah, we're gonna start with 5 of that and come back, good. That's perfect. 3, very good. 4. If you do it with that tempo, guys, you can definitely feel your core is working. Relax. Now, when you do that, you got comfortable with it, then you can try to tap the other leg and gradually progress it. I'm gonna show you one more progression and we're gonna move on to the next exercise. The next progression of the dead bug, bring back the knees up, hands straight. Okay, you're gonna do this when you got comfortable with the second progression that I just explained to you, is alternate arms and legs, which means you can move the right arms, left arms and the right leg. Yeah, exactly. Initially, up to there is more than enough and come back. Don't forget the pressure on the lower back. You're breathing in and out. Let's try one more time. Good. And back down again. Do 5 of that. That's very good coordination session. Very good. 4 and one more. And 5. I'm saying it again, breathing is very important and that pressure has to be consistent. Relax there, thank you. Now, dead bug looks easy, but it's quite difficult if you want to do it right, guys. And if you don't process and progress that gradually, you're ending up annoying your lower back rather than actually helping it. Make sure to be patient and work around it. 3 sets of 5, each version is more than enough. All right, guys, before we move to the next exercise, You've been watching the video until now. Don't forget to press that like button. That's so important for me, guys, and Stellician. She really appreciate your like. Okay, next move is dead bug. See the position that she's on. This is the position that you want to be. Hands underneath of your shoulder, knee underneath of your hip. Back should be in a neutral position, which means there's no dip or there's no, like basically that camel. It's straight, relaxed, breathing in and out. Now, the first progression is to just practice kickback, which is you kicking with one leg's back. Now, I've seen a lot of people doing this exercise quite aggressively and wrong. They kick to the ceiling. We don't want that. We want a straight kick back, gentle. It's movement, guys. It's not about just kicking. Let's give it a try. I'm gonna correct a solution while she does it. See that dip? You wanna minimize that dip as much as possible, which means she wants to activate her core, yeah, keep this straight, and don't shift too much on the right, exactly, be on the middle. Lock the elbows, both elbows are locked. This is straight. That should be kind of straight while you're doing that. And you don't want to hold at this position. Come back, yeah, kick back and come back. Now, we want to practice it a little bit slower, but you don't want to stay at the back and come back, yeah. Stabilize the back straight, lock the elbows, both the elbows are locked, yeah. But can you see? It's quite a difficult movement to do it, guys. Do it gently, which means go within a range that feels comfortable and come back, good. Shift more on the right leg, your right arms, solution, yeah. Move your weight shifted more on the right side. Yeah, when you kick. Yeah, try it again. Yes, now see the differences. She doesn't move towards me too much. Now, relax there. Let's try the same thing with the right leg. Lock up here, everything is tight. Yeah, exactly. Cool, slow control. Now shift your body more towards me. Exactly, while you're doing it. Yes, that's so important, guys. When you're kicking with one side, you're always gonna lean on the other side. Yeah, we wanna minimize that, which means shift your body on the side that you're actually kicking, right? Try that. 5 repetitions is more than enough. And as you can see, she doesn't go up towards the ceiling. She goes straight back. That's perfect solution. Relax there, take your time. Now, this first style of the kickback is more than enough in many cases, guys. I don't progress them for many of my patients. But if you find this is comfortable and you can do more, we're gonna do alternate arms and legs. Now, arms goes up like this. Thumbs up. Don't forget that. Thumbs up, guys. Press that like button. Let's go with the arm, right arm and left leg. Thumbs up. Yep. Can you see that dip? We want to minimize that as much as possible. Shift the body more towards the left. Exactly. Cool. Slow control. You don't need to kick too far. Go partial, 2. Let's do 3 more. That's much better session. 1. Good job. 2. Good. 1 more. Brilliant. And last one. That's more than enough. As you can see, guys, very slow control movement, 5 repetitions either side. You can relax session. And as you can see, it's quite a lot of kind of work to focus on. It is not a quick job to rumble and just finish it and go. You want to be focused and practice this and gradually build them up to full capacity. All right, guys, we're going to move on to one of my favorite movements that you need to learn with back pain is hinging your hip. Hip hinge is one of the movements that can hugely help you to bend, lift things off the ground and do things safely. Now, it does not mean that if you bend and flex your spine, you're gonna damage your disc or whatever. It's not like that, but in many cases, your back can get a little bit hypersensitive and your nervous system can be very aware of your movement. And for that matter, we wanted to really try to learn that hip hinge movement. I'm gonna break it down to 2 progressions. The first progression in the kneeling position. So I'm gonna show you. You're gonna be in a kneeling position, feet a little bit shoulder width apart. Now, you're gonna use your hands in your lower back, and that kind of give you a reference, okay, you're bending or you're flexing, yeah? And we wanna try to, from this position, hip hinge forward. You wanna keep the back nice and tall, yeah? But when you do that, you don't wanna arch your lower back, which means you wanna brace the back a little bit. Let's look at that. Lean forward, that's very good solution, and come back up straight. Yeah, good. That gives you a little bit of flexion, yeah, and extension. That's perfect. Let's repeat that for 5 repetitions. This exercise build up your movement to hinging, which means just imagine you want to pick up something off the ground, you hinge forward, yep, and back. And this is quite moderate. Why? Because your nervous system doesn't gonna freak out too much, and you're reintroducing this. Now, to progress it, I'm gonna show you now in standing position how to progress this movement. We're going to progress, guys, the kneeling hip hinge to standing hip hinge. In this position, you want to keep the feet shoulder width apart. Celicia is going to show you. And similarly, you want to keep the back nice and tall. You use your hands as a reference how far you go down, yeah? Which means you want to keep the nice, keep the back nice and tall. Look kind of like your view is there, you're looking there. Slow control, that's perfect, Celicia, and come back up straight. Yeah, now this reintroduced that bending movement forward. And as you can see, she's been training this movement and she can do it perfectly. Slow control down, that's perfect. As you can see, she doesn't squat down like that. Yeah, she's loading more weight down to the hip and stretching the hamstring. The hamstring is where that she feels the most of the load. That's very good, and come back up. Now, how to get that technique right? Sometimes you're gonna use the wall like for reference and try that. And touch the wall with your bum and come back up. Slow control back down and come back up. And that minimizes the factor that you kind of slouching. You want to push the hip back and slow control down. Now, the more you practice this exercise, guys, you get master in it. And that takes time. And don't rush to this. Build it up gradually. Practice the first version, gain more confidence and coordination, record yourself and see how you're doing it. Because when you record it, you can see what you're doing. And if it's similar to what we're doing here together, that should be right. But don't forget, if you have any question, leave me comments. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Thank you so much, Celicia, for your demonstration. We will creating more rehab plan and mobility routines that can help you at home, that you can literally follow and copy paste these exercises in your day-to-day activity and aim for quicker recovery. Movement is the key. And I believe by following simple routines such as this, you can gradually build up your capacity and get pain-free. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for my weekly update, not because of me, because of Celicia. She's been showing great exercises for you. And if you want to watch more rehab, subscribe my channel for my weekly update, like and share this video with your friend and family all around the world. Your help and support means a lot to us. And that's the only way that we can carry on and put time and create more free content for you. Until next week, all the best. That's it.